Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss data flows in Microsoft Fabric. So in my last video, I discussed how we can create a lake house and a warehouse in Fabric workspace. But yes, that is a storage. Lake house and warehouse is a storage. So how you can store the data, how you can inject the data into the lake house or warehouse. That is what we are going to see in this video. So there are multiple ways to inject the data by you uploading a file from your local computer. You can use the copy activity also. You can create a data flow also. Okay. Then by using Spark and notebook code, you even by using Python code, you can insert data. Even there is something called real time event with the event stream. So this is what the way you can get data from event house. Okay. So lots of things are there. Different ways are there to inject the data or to get the data into the warehouse. So out of this, we are going to discuss data flow. What is a data flow? Okay. So in short, if I tell you data flow is online query editor. So if you are a Power BI user, you are already using the data flow. But if you are using a Power Query Editor in Power BI, that is nothing but data flow on the cloud. Okay, so what is the purpose of query editor? That we know that it allows us to connect with the data sources. Then we can perform the different types of transformations on the data. And once the transformation is done, we can save the data, we can load the data. So here in data flow, meaning in online query editor, we will save the data. We will load the data into the lake house. Okay. So in Power BI, you are loading the data into the Power BI model. That's it. That is the difference. Otherwise, everything is similar. And obviously, data flow in Microsoft Fabric plays a very important role. It enables users to perform the ETL operation to ingest, cleans, and transform the data. Okay, let's see how we can create a data flow. Then we will discuss many things about it. Okay, so if I come to the Fabric workspace, if I over the mouse on this diamond icon, you can see here that this is the indication that my workspace is a Fabric. And okay, this is just a warning for me, but no worries, this will work for me. Okay, so if you come to the workspace, there is something called new item. If you are going to create a new item, even you can create folders and all, and then inside that you can create this. The way we can save the files on the cloud in different folders. Similarly, you can create the folders and then you can create these Fabric items. Everything is fine. Okay, so from get data, you can select the data flow. Okay, so there is something called a data flow. This is the older one. So data flow Gen 2 we will use. Okay, so here, if I select this, you can see that it has opened online query editor. Right, it is using a Power Query. Power Query is a tool that is used with the Power BI to perform the ETL operation. Okay, so let me edit this and I will name this as a sales data. Okay, for sales data flow. Okay, fine. So this is my name for the data flow, what I am going to create. First, before starting with the transformation, on what you need is you need the data. So first you need to make the connection with your sources. So you can go to the manage connections, and here if you see there is nothing. If you have connected already from any of the workspace, so you can see all these here. I am going to create a new connection. Okay, so in that case, what I will do is I will select this import from CSV. or text. Okay, I'll select this. Then instead of connecting to the OneDrive and all, what I will do is I would prefer to upload the file. Okay, so this is my file and I would like to upload even any sample data we can pick. So I will pick this and let me say okay. So what it will does, it will upload the file into the my OneDrive, and from that location wherever it will upload, okay, you can see that it has uploaded the file in this location, and this will make the connection with the my OneDrive. Okay, so next is I'll say next. So this is how your table looks like. This is just a preview of your data. This is a URL of my file from where this file has been picked. So what I will do, I will go and I will say create. So now it has created a data flow, but this data flow is not yet published. Meaning, if you go to the workspace, you will not see the database. Okay, if I come to this, if I come to my workspace, sorry, not this. If I come to this, okay. So this sales data flow is here, but yes, this is not yet published. This is not in a running mode. So you can see that refresh now is disabled, or the schedule refresh is disabled. Even lots of things you cannot do. Setting, you cannot update the setting. You cannot modify the setting for this. Why? Because this is not yet published. We just a created instance of it. Okay. So you here on this data, if you want to make the changes, okay, what I will do, I will select this, and I don't want this to be in this format. Okay. So here, if I go, I don't want to apply date filter. I want to do some kind of formatting. So go to the transform data. Okay, and we can change the type of data, or we can create a new column. We can add the new column. So whatever the operations you can perform in query editor, same thing you can perform here. Okay. So I would like to format this date. So here in query editor, we don't have that much formatting options, but if we load the data in Power BI, that there is a many options. But what I can do instead of this, I can create a new column. Okay. And I will select column from example. I will say from the selection just for the demo purpose. Okay. And here, what is the date for me is, okay, 11/8. So I will say 8 hyphen November hyphen 2016. Okay, this is not picking me. Or let me extract something like year only. So it has evaluated and it has extracted the year for all this. Okay. So this kind of transformation you can do. New column I have created, stating that this is a year. So year column we have created. Okay, I was just trying to change the formatting of this date, but yes, that is not coming with the examples. But yeah, by using custom columns, you can set the formatting by using the text formulas on this order date and delivery date. Right. And here you can see that all the applied steps. This is the name of your query. So I will just say sales. I don't want to keep it as a sales 4 and all. Make this little bit simpler. So once your transformation is done, the last thing is, meaning we know how we can connect, so how we can extract Obviously, if you go to the get data, you can use lots of connectors from here, and after that you can perform the lots of operations, many operations to reshape the data, to clean the data. Then where to load the data? Right. The question is how to load the data. So what I need is I want to load the data into the lake house. So if I come here in the workspace, lake house is not there, right? So in this case, I need to create a lake house. So I'll go to the new item. I'll say lake house. I will pick this and sales. Okay, this I'll pick sales lake house and I will say create. So now we have created a lake house. Now let's add the connection. So I will select, go to the add the connection. Even from this here also you can click on this plus icon. So here what you will do is you will add the connection. You can define the new connection to store the data. So I'll use the lake house. I selected lake house and then don't do anything. Okay, so it will automatically pick the lake house in Fabric. And in which workspace your lake house is created. So select that, then select the lake house name. So this will be a container to create a table. That means, okay, this table is table the way we have table in SQL database. And this sales lake house is nothing but your database. Okay, so this is your database name. Now, if I go and say next, and then if I save the setting, so this has saved the setting to store the data, to load the data. So now we have successfully defined where to load the data. We have successfully defined the destination for our data. Now, to transform this data, what you need to do is you need to refresh this. But before refreshing, you need to publish this data flow. So I'll say publish. Now, after the publishing this data flow, it will automatically refresh. First, it will validate. Okay, this is validating, or we can say that this is publishing in progress. Once the publish finished, it will start refreshing. Meaning it will execute the task, whatever the transformation we have defined, what we have created new, what we have deleted, how or what kind of formatting we have changed. Everything will be happened, and then data will be injected into the lake house. Okay, so this is published successfully. Now it is refreshing. You can see here the status refresh is in progress. Okay, and fine. Okay, so here also we are seeing the refresh is in progress. So let's wait to finish the refresh. Until unless refresh get finished, you won't be able to see the data injected in the lake house. Okay, the refresh is done. Now you can see the current time is a refresh time or refreshed column value. Okay. So now if you come to the lake house, if you open the lake house, obviously you will see the tables and files. We don't have files in our lake house, but yes, table is there. And it is loading the preview from the table. Okay. So this is how your table is created in the lake house. Right. So now what you can do, you can create a new semantic model, or if you go to this lake house, there is a default semantic model, so you can access this, but unluckily or unfortunately, I am not able to access this at this moment. Okay, there may be a reason. I have a trial version. but yes, you can access this if you have a paid version. Or what you can do is you can define the new model. If you go to the new semantic model, you can create new semantic model, and you can use that new semantic model to connect it from the Power BI. So whatever we have seen so far is nothing but data flow. We have successfully created a one data flow. Here you can see that there is a refresh button. I can refresh it as I want. Then if you want to schedule the refresh, you will be able to schedule the refresh. The way we can schedule refresh for okay, data source credentials, first you need to resolve this, and then you will be able to schedule it. Okay. And okay, let me go back. Let's come to the workspace. Okay. The way we schedule semantic model or Power BI report refresh, similarly, you can schedule it. Okay. So we saw how we can create. So now let's understand what is the or what are the various components of data flow. So we saw how we can inject the data. Data injection. Obviously, we injected the data into the lake house. So this is nothing but data injection. So first, what we will do is we will connect to the source. And Microsoft Fabric supports a wide range of connector to integrate with the numerous types of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Dataflow connects to these sources using Power Query Editor or Power Query connectors. Then data transformations. So we have added one column using Power Query Editor. You can perform the ETL operation. So we saw how we can perform the ETL. So obviously data flow is used for the data transformation. On Fabric side, storage is a lake house. We used lake house storage. Okay. And that can be used throughout the entire all the kind of applications, not only the Power BI reports. It could be the machine learning model and all. So that storage can be used. So that is a single storage, or we can say the one lake storage system, that unified data lake that serves the entire platform. There is something called common data model. Data flow also utilize common data models which standardize how data is stored. Okay, so this is something different that we can see. So this allows for the consistency, meaning if there is some standard formats and are already defined, so we can map the data. Okay, so if I go here in the query editor, okay, so there is something called CDM. Okay, so from here you can map the columns from your query output to attributes of standard column. So if this is defined, then only it will work. Okay, otherwise it is not going to work. Then reusability and sharing. So data flows are reusable across the different services and applications. So obviously meaning same data flow can be used with the lake house. Same data flow can be used to inject the data into the warehouse. Same data flow can be used in the Spark. Okay, to get the data and even train the machine learning model. So this is a reusable. Okay, so we saw only one way to inject the data into the lake house, but yes, it can be used across the different services and applications. Shared across the teams, you can share the way we can share the Power BI reports, semantic models. Similarly, you can share the data flows. Let me close these data flows. I want to exit. Okay, it is automatically saved. Whatever you perform, it will get saved. And okay, there is a way to share it. So you can share this with your teams. Then data integration. So data flows are designed to work seamlessly, meaning it is already integrated with the Power BI. So you can directly consume the data flows as a data source for creating reports and dashboards. Okay, that is fine, right? So you can do this also. In Azure Synapse Analytics can use the transform the data for the big data processing and machine learning and data warehousing needs. Even in real time analytics also, data flows can be used. So with integration across the fabric, data flows can be used for the both batch and real time analytics. The batch meaning after some time data will be processed, the data will be transferred in batch in the form of batch, or real time continuously data is in flow. Then automation and scheduling. We already discussed how we can schedule the refresh. Then you can use the data flow to incrementally refresh the data. Okay, so this we will discuss later. Then data governance and security. So Fabric provides the governance feature, including the lineage tracking, so you can understand where the data came from and how it has been transformed. Because everything you can even you can provide the role-based access control. So data flow also respect the organization security policies. So role-based access control ensure that only authorized user can view and or modify the specific data flow. Okay. So we have created, this is the steps. You need to go to the workspace, then create new item, create this data flow, then select data source, perform the data transformation, load the data into the destination. That is what lakehouse we used. And then we publish, then refresh, schedule, and then how to delete it. Okay. So what we can do is we can delete the data flow if you don't need, or if you are not going to use this anymore. So I will delete this because I don't need that data flow anymore. Okay. So use cases, data preparation for the analytics. Obviously, we saw we can perform the ETL operation using the data flow. Then centralized data transformations. A single source can be shared with the multiple evils. Even it makes sure for the organization to access the unified version of data. And how it does, so it allows different teams to collaborate on the data transformation while ensuring consistency. Centralized data flow ensures everyone work with the same and clean data. So data integration from multiple sources, data. Obviously, we can connect to the multiple sources like Excel file, APIs, even on cloud services or SQL databases, or many types of storages from the Azure. Also, we can connect, and we can combine. We can merge the data through the transformation steps. Data enrichment. So you can create the new columns, or you can perform the aggregation. So everything for the analysis purpose, you can keep the ready by using query editor, by building the custom logic. Okay. Next is reuse share data pipeline across teams. So you can do we can incrementally load the data. So this is another setup. So we need to do how to load, even if you are familiar with the incremental load data or incremental refresh in Power BI. That is nothing but here incrementally data loads in data flow. Scheduling and automation we can do. Then building scalable data lakes. Okay, so enterprises need a scalable and cost-effective solution for storing large volume of structured and unstructured data. So data flow can be used in conjunction with Microsoft Fabric data lake capabilities to build scalable data lake for massive data storage. So to handle large data set, the data flow can be used. So automatically the capacity of or compute power can be changed. Then supporting data governance and security, obviously compliance. Then enhance the reporting and visualizations. So these are the use cases. So team needs enriched, well-prepared data set for creating advanced Power BI reports and dashboards. Even data flow can be used in data migration. So organization moving on-premises data systems to the cloud or needing an easy way to transform and load their data into the cloud-based or based system like Azure and Power BI. So data flow is a good choice. So I hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Please do not forget to subscribe our channel to learn more on the Fabric and Power BI side.